Hello everyone and welcome back into the RTI postgame show. Today Ryan Schumpert and I, Jack Foster, are recapping Tennessee basketball's 46-43 win over Auburn here in Thompson-Boling Arena. And Ryan, it wasn't the prettiest of afternoons here in Knoxville.
It had the vibes of a mid-November day in Evanston, Illinois, with the Iowa Hawkeyes coming to face Northwestern. I mean, it was Big Ten West football. Not a lot of shots made, not a lot of shots made, a lot of fouls that weren't called, a lot of physicality, a lot of missed shots, and in the end, really Tennessee got the job done with a great defensive performance and some really good offensive rebounding too, which proved critical.
Yeah, the offensive rebounding definitely proved critical, and Josiah-Jordan James' performance proved critical as well. A double-double for him, 15 points, 14 rebounds. What did you see from Triple J today?
Well, I mean, he said it postgame. He got to his spots, and I think it's been cool watching him evolve as a player and knowing where he can be effective offensively. He still has limitations offensively, but he knows what he does well, and he's a good shooter. He's improved there. He didn't get many to go from the perimeter tonight, but he was really good in the mid-range. And it felt like, especially in the second half, Tennessee led the whole way. It felt like every time Auburn was making a push, was getting it tight, he answered with a big mid-range jump shot. So he was really solid, and then also hit 4 big free throws down the stretch, including one was the bonus. So he hit 2, front end to get the second shot and making the second shot. And as many struggles as Tennessee's had on the front end of the bonus this year, I thought that was huge. And certainly in a game that doesn't even combine for 90 points. Every single one's very valuable. Yeah,
it's the lowest combined point total of 2 ranked SEC teams in the shot clock era. So history was made in Knoxville today. Of course, it's the 4th lowest game ever between 2 ranked teams in the shot clock era as well. So not a lot of offense today. 2 pretty good defensive teams, and it was really physical today as well.
Oh, it was extremely physical, and I expected it to be low scoring. I think it had 65-59 in my prediction, and I said just that. Low scoring. Bruce Pearl always seems to have a good plan for Tennessee, and Tennessee, after the way they played defensively at Florida down the stretch, you knew they'd be dialed in tonight.
Right.
I couldn't imagine it'd be anything like this, and certainly the physicality was really crazy in this game, and it was not an enviable spot to put the officials in, because you had a chance to do what they did, which is basically, I think, just call 31 fouls on the game, not many, and every possession, it felt like there were 5 times you could blow the whistle and call it a foul. And obviously, I think that's, people don't like that, but the alternative is stopping the whistle every single,
on a game that's already ugly.
Yes, and you just lose any sort of flow that you have, and certainly there wasn't much of it, but you would have lost any of it there. So the physicality stood out, the emotion stood out, and certainly I think 2 rosters that don't like each other very much, and it'll be, I don't know if fun's the right word. It'll be interesting to see how it goes when these 2 fare off in Auburn in the regular season, first weekend of March.
Absolutely. And, talking about the physicality, Rick Barnes really pointed out 3 guys in postgame, Jemai Meshack, Jonas Adu, but most importantly, Tobe Awaka, for how physical they were today. Tobe Awaka come in, played significant minutes in the first half and made them count.
I thought he should have played more in the second half, really, and he only got taken out in the first half because he was bleeding and he had to go out of the game. But he was really good, and Jemai Meshack, both those guys led Tennessee with offensive rebounds. I believe Meshack had 3, Awaka had 2, and nothing they did is going to jump off the stat sheet at you, but they finished some easy ones around the rim when they got those offensive rebounds. And again, like I just said a minute ago, scored 49 points. Zakai Ziegler doesn't make a shot. Santiago Vescovi makes, I think, 2 shots, but didn't shoot at a very high clip. And your stars aren't giving it to you in a low-scoring game. Anything you can get from those role players, especially guys like that who are on the court for their defense, not their offense, proves to be really, really big. And Rick Barnes said it. I'm trying to find ways to get Jemai Meshack more time. It won't be as hard if he can do what he did on the offensive glass and finish some stuff. And he even shot a mid-range jump shot there early in the second half and hit it with confidence. So it was a good, strong night from him, a strong night from Awaka. And Adu, who he has a lot that he brings defensively, but physicality is not what you think of. In a very physical game, he grabbed some really tough rebounds. And I joked that it felt like when the ball hit the glass and went up for a rebound, both teams were turning and throwing punches at each other. And Adu really, I don't know, if you told me that before the game, I wouldn't have known if he could rise up to that physicality. He definitely did. Yeah,
in addition to him, Julian Phillips as well had some big plays, 2 blocks on the afternoon for Julian Phillips. So an all-around really good performance from Tennessee's defensively as well. And talked about Santiago Vescovi, far from the best afternoon for him, but he made the shot that counted late here. That 4-point play, the 3 with the foul, that was huge for this game.
It was, and you felt like, not that it put the game away, but it gave Tennessee some breathing room, and you really felt like they had a chance to put the game away when Tobe Awaka went to the line.
Right.
Up 6 with, 35 seconds. He misses both. Wendell Green comes and hits the 3. And really, the end of the game, I thought, had very similar vibes into the Auburn game last year here at Thompson-Boling Arena. Granted, there were probably about 20 more points scored by both teams in that game. But Tennessee had a lead. They got a little careless with the ball. Granted, I'm not sure there weren't 3 or 4 fouls on the possession they turned it over in the backcourt, but they did enough to get the job done.
It almost felt like Auburn was going to steal it, right? Like
it
did last year.
You're right. It had that vibe, and there were just so many times in the game. Granted, no one was really making shots, but you had a Tennessee shot where you feel like you can not put them away. You feel comfortable. I think Josiah missed a couple 3-pointers that would have given Tennessee a double-digit lead with maybe 6 or 7 to go, and then a little bit later maybe an 8-point lead, and one of them was completely down too and rolled out. So you're right. It felt like Tennessee just couldn't put it away, and Auburn's done it less this year, but you remember this Auburn team last year, and Tennessee fans will remember from Bruce Pearl's here with that full court defense. They find a way to steal a lot of games late that they don't play very well in, and it certainly felt like that was going to be possible. And on a game where Tennessee didn't shoot very well at the line, Zakai Ziegler hit, and certainly Zakai Ziegler didn't shoot well, 0-10, 0-7 from 3. He hit 2 huge free throws late that put Tennessee up 3.
And, looking at this Tennessee team, an ugly loss a couple of days ago on the road in Gainesville. They come back, play excellent defense, but struggle again on offense. What's next for this Tennessee basketball team? What do they need to improve on? What comes from here?
Well, they got to improve offensively. And I think it's, one, Santiago Vesky has not shot the ball very well the last couple of weeks, and Zakai Ziegler didn't play well this week, but I thought what Barnes said was very, accurate. It would help him a lot if guys could make shots, and they would space the floor a lot better for him. So I think that would go a long way, but it's all about the offense. Defensively, you saw them bounce back the way you'd expect. They were really good on the offense, really good completely on the glass tonight. It's going to be about, one, shooting better, making some of those open looks, but I think more importantly, how can you find some consistency from your interior guys? I mean, Olivier Kamwa, you have the stat sheet, he took 16 shots and
4 of 16, yeah.
4 of 16 and scored 9 points.
He missed his first 5.
Missed his first 5 in the first 4 minutes of the game. Tennessee can't have that, and it doesn't necessarily just have to be him. Maybe it's Uros Plavsic that gives him more. Maybe it's Tobe Awaka that has pretty good touch for such a raw offensive player around the rim. Maybe it's Julian Phillips.
Right.
I thought that's one thing. They looked to get Julian Phillips some touches down low tonight, and I like that idea. They did it when they were playing big, and he was playing the 3. You got Olivier Kamwa or Jonas Sadu, you can't space the court. It doesn't give him much of a chance to be successful in those opportunities. So I think he's another guy you look at. I wrote about that this week, but it's all, you look at this week, it's all about finding offensive consistency as you move forward.
Absolutely. Well, Tennessee win is a win in SEC play, and they get the win this afternoon, 46-43 over Auburn in Thompson-Boling Arena. Up next for the Volunteers is a road matchup against Vanderbilt. We'll have you covered over at RockyTopInsider.com all of next week for Tennessee basketball action. For Ryan Schumpert, I'm Jack Foster, and this has been RTI's post-game reaction from Tennessee's win over Auburn.